It was the voice of a courageous explorer, a man dedicated to the pursuit of man's knowledge and the expansion of his horizons.
Good morning. Here is Nathan Ivy.
NathanIvy.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. As far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fish, yeah, too strong. Team NI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cops watching, listen to the real, jumping like hopscotch. Nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? John be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Drippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati red tag. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 5-1-3, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
Broadcasting live from Cincinnati, Ohio, here's the king of superlative flows, Nathan Ivy.
Good morning, welcome back. Oh yeah, we are on today. Good morning, welcome back. Thank you so much for finding the show this morning. Due to circumstances beyond my control, believe me, I love being with you every single morning. This is the Nathan Ivy Show. Welcome back. 513-873-7134. That is my number. Let me go straight to the choppers, because I want to have as much time with you, taking your comments, interacting with you as possible. Angela writes, good morning. She's first inside the chop shop. Followed by Carolyn. Carolyn writes, good morning, choppers. And Jerica writes, hola. Good morning to everyone. Let me give you a heads up. I have been working with the promoters of the Hamilton Networking Nights event since last month, and they asked me to help them get the word out about their upcoming event. And there is an update I want to make sure that everyone hears. I'll say this many times throughout today's show, and hoping to catch as many possible people as possible. But they have changed the date for the network event. It is Friday, this Friday, May 26, 6:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. I want to give you a heads up about that. You can find a link on my Facebook page and do your due diligence afterward. And good morning to you. I know many people may have been very interested in it. Maybe you still are, perhaps. I want to make sure you're there at the right time. Very important to me. My relationship to my audience means a lot to me, very much to me. And therefore, the people that work with me must take my audience and my relationship with my audience very, very seriously. So I want to make sure that you understand what's going on. I don't want you to be confused. Again, that's going to be this Friday, May 26th. Good morning to you, choppers. Let's get into it. Now, today is Tuesday, May 23rd, 2017. And I like to talk about a lot of things, some of which you may find very important, some of which may not be so crucial, but maybe you'll find it entertaining. At 8 a.m., I'm scheduled to be joined by a man who has been featured in local news. By local, I'm broadcasting live from the city of Cincinnati. And this man has been caught up with, a bit of the controversy that's been happening down at something called the housing court here in the city of Cincinnati. Last week, you heard me talk about a man by the name of Reverend Mingo. And these names may change. Okay, the names of the streets, the geographical locations may change, but the issues are the same. And it was so interesting because apparently Reverend Mingo is very well connected straight to the mayor's office. I mean, think about this. How many people would John Cranley run? Like, he's the mayor of Cincinnati. For how many people would John Cranley leave his office, like in the middle of whatever he's doing? I guess he was writing proclamations. That is funny. He was signing, should I say, the proclamations. And he just dropped everything he was doing and ran over to help Reverend Mingo. Reverend Mingo was about to get 90 days in court, ladies and gentlemen, because a back wall on a piece of his property had not been updated. I guess it wasn't up to code. And yeah, you can get arrested and go to jail for something like that in the city of Cincinnati. You can go to jail if the city inspector comes to your home and he gives you a little piece of paper telling you you're supposed to fix something. And if you don't fix it fast enough, there's a judge, perhaps judges in Hamilton County, that will lock you up. And if they don't lock you up, they'll intimidate you to give up your property. Now, how is this just not highway robbery? How is this not robbery? You sticking up poor people, basically. And everybody seems to know about it. Yesterday, we talked with Yvette Simpson. She knows about it. She's not happy about it, but she knows about it. Everybody knows about it. I would say that all the members of the city council know about it. They can't say they don't know about it now. And my issue with Reverend Mingo was just how easily the local media wanted to claim victory. Oh, he was saved. All is good. Justice is real. Jesus is Lord, right? And in reality, there are dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of people who have been snared in this system. You know, you want to call something evil, that's evil. You know, the mayor likes to use that term, evil. He said that the club owners, the shooting that happened over at, what's the club now that's now been closed? The most tragic, should I say, mass shooting in Cincinnati history, Cameo nightclub. The mayor reacted saying it was evil. No, I don't know if that's evil, but this system that's basically extorting people's homes, that's an evil system. In fact, I'm going to say it's an evil racist system. There's an evil racist system at work here in the city of Cincinnati. And everybody wants to talk about the Renaissance, but the underbelly of the Renaissance is not nice. And this morning at 8 a.m., I'm scheduled to speak with a man who unfortunately knows all about that underbelly. He knows all about that racist, that evil racist system. How else can you call it anything else? It's an evil racist system, period. Everybody admits that's not what housing court was set up to do, but that's exactly what housing court seems to be doing. How would you like it if your parents were coerced, we'll put it that way, into giving up their home because they're $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 behind in taxes? And everybody's talking about the Renaissance in Cincinnati. Renaissance? Whoa, Renaissance? This sounds like the same old thing. People being exploited. Earl Starr is his name. He ended up with an ankle bracelet, a low jack, a home monitoring system on his ankle because he went through that system. And I talked with him yesterday. He's got a lot to say. He's got a lot to say. And he might even expose some names of current members, at least, who knows, some names of current members of city council who he tried to reach out to. They gave him no play. And while everybody's showering Reverend Mingo with the gifts of the gods. I mean, you know, Reverend Mingo, he got pro bono legal service. Some people are coming in and building his wall. They're going to rebuild his wall.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are
you
Are
ready?
you ready? Reverend Mingo, we're going to build that wall.
I will build the wall. if
Build
you
that
the
wall.
We
Work with me, it works with you. But if you're not Reverend Mingo and you don't know the mayor, guess what? Nobody comes to save you. Oh, my God. I would have paid money to see the mayor. He just dropped the proclamations he was signing. And he just runs over to the courthouse to save Reverend Mingo. What about all the other folks who were unjustly persecuted by this evil racist system? There's no other way to put it. The majority of the people who are being coerced are black. Everybody says it's wrong, so it's an evil racist system. There's no other way to look at it. Who's getting rich? Is somebody getting rich? I think we should follow the money. It's one thing to follow the names in the court cases, but we should be following the money. Is anybody watching these judges down here to see if they're filling their pockets with local properties? We should do a full investigation. But Earl Starr is my guest at 8 a.m. He's one man with one story, and I want to hear it. I would like to hear it. 513-873-7134. This is The Nathan Ivey Show. My pleasure to be with you as always. As always, my pleasure. I'm not a big fan of Ariana Grande, but I'm not going to set off explosions at her concert. I mean, I can see it. You're not an Ariana Grande fan. Neither am I. You talk about overrated. It's amazing. What is her skill? What is her skill? She's got long fake hair. A suicide bomber killed at least 12 people, including children, at an Ariana Grande concert in Britain. Suicide bomber killed at least 22 people and wounded 59 in a very packed concert hall in the English city of Manchester. Targeting children now? Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan either, but damn. If you got any flows on that, I'd love to hear your thoughts. 513. What will be the ripple effect here in the United States? How will the Trump administration react to all of this? What does that mean for the surveillance community? 513-873-7134. I would like to get your thoughts this morning. In Anderson Township, a 61-year-old bicyclist was killed by a driver who admitted to using heroin before getting behind the wheel. You ran over a bicyclist? Deputy says that William Rust III was riding his bicycle along the shoulder of U.S. Route 52 when a car driven by Stephen Sickle, take the last two letters off and you apropos, Stephen Sick, 33, drifted off the road and struck him. The world we live in, man. I'm telling you, heroin is taking over. I mean, how is this not the last days of common sense? When you've got walking zombies, the walking dead are among us. These heroin addicts are like the walking dead human locust. Or am I going too far? You tell me. 513-873-7134. Trump called the Manchester attack perpetrators losers. Attaboy. Dig it in there real deep there, Donald Trump. There you go. Again, 513-873-7134. If you follow the NBA, well, then you know that the Golden State Warriors have now swept their way into the playoffs and into the finals. They swept the San Antonio Spurs. And, it's so funny that, for folks who are into the whole NBA, there's a big conversation going on, right, about the Eastern Conference. A lot of people believe that in the LeBron James era, the Eastern Conference has been watered down. He's had no real competition. But yet Jordan went to the finals 6 years in a row. What will be the difference? LeBron goes to the finals. Let's say he goes this year. It'll be 7 years in a row, 6 years in a row. And what's the difference? Other than the fact that Jordan always came out with a victory, never lost in the finals. But I thought about this last night as I was watching Kevin Durant, and they're so triumphant. They got their T-shirts. I'm thinking you just beat up on a wounded animal. You beat the Spurs with no Tony Parker. No Kawhi Leonard, a man who surpassed LeBron James on the top 3 list for MVP finalists during the regular season in the NBA this year. But yet everybody says they're the greatest team ever. How do we know? When has the Golden State Warriors really been tested? Of course, they were tested last year. I'm not going to say that's a punk move by Kevin Durant. What I will say is that what he did was weaker on the man scale than what LeBron James did. LeBron James left Cleveland. Everybody agrees that at that particular time, that team was only going to go so far. And he left and went to another team, not a rival, not the team that beat them the year before in the playoffs after being up 3-1. But it is what it is. You tell me. 513-873-7134. Again, if you're just tuning in at the top of the hour, I'm scheduled to be joined by a man by the name of Earl Starr. And you have to hear his story. You got to hear his story. It's an amazing story. And who knew that you could get in so much trouble by trying to do the right thing? Who knew? Who had any idea? And this man, is just trying to invest in some property, and through a series of events, he ends up on the wrong side of the law. And again, you really need to stick around for that. 513-873-7134. I didn't get a chance to really get into the Inquirer article yesterday about Bishop Bobby Hilton. I may get a chance to revisit that. I'm not done with all my notes. I got more to say. He got more to say. Al Sharpton says that Bishop Bobby Hilton is cut from the same cloth of the preachers, which is exactly what we need. It's been so effective, right? It's been so effective. I want to say this again. That story with Bishop Bobby Hilton yesterday was written by Mark Cornett. He does a lot of good stories I've seen. He's even taken heat because he does a lot of stories in which he talks about, let's call it what it is, Black Cincinnati, okay? But it's yet another example of the local paternalistic attitude where, the Inquirer is going to tell us who our civil rights leaders are. Wait a minute, there's a rising, right? There's a new generation, right, of young leadership in this city. They don't get focused because we too caught up with the old school Messiah complex. Why is it that you go from state to state to state? It's the reverence that seems to be out front and center. Well, maybe part of it is because, these are some of the most, I don't know, maybe it's because they're in a position where they are financially independent because of their churches and they have money. Some people flock to people because they think those people have wealth or they think they have something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. I'm not really cut like that myself. I don't flock to people because they have money or whatever the case may be. My decision is much more, once I get a read of the man himself, that's what really matters to me more than anything else. But I've seen people, man, listen, I've seen people kiss ass grown folks if they're dealing with somebody who they think has some money. Maybe that's what's happening. These reverends, they have these churches, and they're already the epicenter of like the Black experience on some level. So maybe it's just a natural transition. I don't know. But did anybody calculate how many wins that Bishop Bobby Hilton has so far? Because by my last count, it was like 0-4. Not NAN, which is so apropos because he is the president of the local chapter of NAN, the National Action Network. Yes. And I told my Bishop Bobby Hilton story. I won't get into it again today. Back to the shopper as we go. Let me see. Good morning, Chuck. Chuck writes, good morning, Nate, and the Choppers. Pamela writes, good morning. Kashana writes, hola. Corinthia writes, morning. Clue Magic writes, good morning, Nate, and the Choppers. CJ writes, good morning, everyone. Tiffany writes, morning. Jerica writes, darn, I thought you weren't on today. Yes, I am here. Deanna writes, good morning. Lawrence writes, good morning. Brian Rice morning, hashtag sweep, hashtag here we come Cavs. I didn't like what I heard from LeBron James. I just didn't have it tonight. Man, you're LeBron James. You get paid to act like you have it even when you don't have it. Fame writes, good morning, Choppers. Deborah writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Tracy writes, hi. Cruther writes, good morning, Choppers. Shannon writes, good morning. Kush writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Again, I want to give everybody a heads up. And I just found out yesterday, as a matter of fact, that the Happy Hour Hamilton Hour Nights event, it's been moved to this Friday. Same time, same location, same everything. But instead of being on Thursday, the 25th, it'll be this Friday, the 26th. Fame writes, oh yeah, I'm late, but LeBron was asked to extend the Boston series so fans didn't have to watch 10 days of commercials for the finals. LeBron allegedly threw the game because the league asked him to. Who's the real MVP? What? Send me a link on that one. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Kelly writes, good morning, Nathan. Mike writes, good morning, fam. So what are you saying? LeBron James got a message from the NBA Illuminati? Take a dive in the 6th round? What? And he did it for the fans? Come on now. Send me a link, fam. Brenda writes, happy Tuesday, Nate and the Choppers. Mike writes, good morning, fam. Wait until you hear this man's story. Again, I heard just a little bit of it yesterday. And I want to get a sense of what his story was. And man, it was eye-opening to say the least. Monique writes, morning, everyone. Hashtag Hotep. B writes, Jamal. Brian writes, Jordan's competition was much better than the NBA is super soft now. Yes, it is. Deanna writes, ask Mr. Starr if he still has his property. I certainly will. Brian writes, don't be nervous now, Nate. KD, CS, CT, DG coming. Well, let them come then. Come on, Cletus. Jill writes, good morning, all. Mila writes, good morning, Nate. Did you see the man's swimsuits? This is too much. What? Is that a spin-off of those damn rompers? Fellas, if your wife tries to buy you a romper, it's either very flattering or extremely unflattering. And it's a 1% chance that it's flattering. My wife come in here with a damn romper. What you trying to do, woman? Trying to set me up. You trying to have me look out here looking crazy in these streets. Romper. No, I did not see it. Please send me a link. Brian Rice Jordan never had a game off, even when he had the flu. LB's romper was bothering him last night. What? Now I'm gonna listen. It wasn't last night. It was the night before, Brian. See, I gotta correct you off top because you're coming to LBJ. Other than that, it's all good, man. You get an AB for that. 2 ABs. Ashley writes, good morning, Chop Shop. Happy Tuesday. Good to see you, Ashley. Welcome. She's a newlywed. We got newlywed in the house. Akeem writes, morning, Choppers. I seen a video of Tanika overwhelmed with the Holy Ghost on Facebook. Really? Send me a link. Send me a link. Miller writes, I tagged you on Facebook. Well, let me go check it out then. I will be inside the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey Show this morning, getting a sense of what's come across, what's come across your sort of Facebook or your internet radar screen. Again, I can't be all places at all times, Choppers. I need your help. Feel free to post links to, and I love the internet. Nothing scatological, nothing overly adult, if you know what I mean. Akeem. You know what I mean? But other than that, all good. All good. I love a good fight video, too. And I love debates. I love debate videos. See, what is this? Akeem. What is it? March 28th? Oh, okay. This was old. The hell? Oh, that was the day Akeem went off inside the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey Show. See, Gil Scott. All right. right, I'll make sure everybody gets tickets. I'll make sure you understand exactly how to get into the Hamilton Nights event. Thank you for that. Oh, sweet Jesus. What in the hell? Akeem just posted something from Po Folks, the hottest MC from Facebook. Oh, not good. But again, if things come across your radar screen, if you like to add content to the show, should I say, that's a great way. That's a great way to put content on the show. I check it every single day. At least I try to check it every single day. Every single day. I want to get your thoughts about what's going on. And here's a question. What actually helps heroin users get clean? I mean, what actually helps them? Do they have to go super cold turkey? Do they have to hit rock bottom? Do they have to nearly, or if maybe they do, in fact, kill someone? What will it take? Because I just read a story this morning of a man who was killed. He's riding on his bicycle. And that's a great way to get exercise. If we did more bicycling, everybody would be in better shape, man. I mean, we'd be walking around Cincinnati looking like the 300. Don't you want to look like the 300? Everybody's fit. Everyone's got at least a 2 or 3 pack, 4 pack. How many packs have you ever had in your life, like physical packs? For me, about 4.5. Okay, 513-873-7134. That's my number. Please call and tell me. I'd like to know, seriously. And you're supposed to get out the house and bicycle and exercise. He gets ran over by a damn heroin user. Why do heroin users think that they can get behind the wheel? Oh, I'm cool. What is it about the mind, the altered adult mind, that thinks it's okay? I'm telling you, a lot of people do not drink and drive because they don't want to suffer the consequences. A lot of people don't do it because of the consequences. Like, they already know the system's coming hard on. It's coming super hard on them. If you don't get no help because, well, you may get sobered up in the tank, so to speak. But there doesn't seem to be the same amount of sympathy for alcohol users. That's a drug. Why is it that if you drink alcohol, it's almost like you're looked down upon? But if you're on dog, if you're on heroin, oh, come on in here, baby. Mwah, give mommy some sugar. No. What needs to be done? Do we need to get tougher? Is that the way to go? Or have we tried that and we're more progressive now? We know better. You tell me. Until then, good morning, caller. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Brother Nate. How are you?
I'm doing great. Is this Roosevelt?
Yes, it is. Sir.
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on? Welcome.
Good. So much. Hey, man, I was kind of in and out yesterday. I didn't get a chance to hear Simpson speak. But I know you got a guest coming up here a little bit. But if some of the council people are listening to this show, I'd like to know why the city puts more emphasis on the facade grants for the major thoroughfares and for the commercial property owners, and not as much for the residential citizens who I think need it all the more and who may be more challenged financially. And I'll just say real quick, for those of your listeners who don't know, but in some of the business districts, Madisonville, Barn Hill, and Northside, for some time, the city gave grants to property owners to improve their business. Whether they needed, if they needed some capital improvements made, let's say if there was a project that was $50,000 in some community, the city would match half of that amount. And I'd be interested to know why some of our council people haven't pushed that issue more for the residential property owners.
It's a good question. I'll keep it in mind.
Yep.
It's a damn good question. I'll keep it in mind.
Yep. Hey, good show, brother. I'll be interested to hear what you guys have to say. Take care.
All right, man. Take it easy. It's a damn good question. I'll keep that in mind. Let's keep that top of mind, choppers. And if any members of City Council are listening either live or podcast, you can send me a message later. I'd love to get your thoughts on that. And I'll keep that in mind as we move forward with our conversations with the various folks who want to lead from the City Council position. We will certainly keep that in mind. Here's my number again, 513-873-7134. Key C writes, good morning, all good to see you. Is anybody a fan of Ariana Grande? Don't look, she might be a guilty pleasure for you. Don't lie. Don't lie now. I just don't see the talent. Like Katy Perry, I just don't see the talent. Anyone could do that. Anyone can sing that Ariana Grande song. I don't care what anybody says. Anyone who can sing, you can train them to do that and just give them some super long extensions. And there it is. Damn, I'm in the wrong business. I'm in the wrong business. At the top of the hour, in 10 minutes, I'm scheduled to be joined by a man who feels like he's been under attack. And I'm not hyping it up. I think he will agree. Straight up under attack by the local government here. And to me, this is one of the biggest issues this year. This is one of the biggest issues. I mean, what happened with Reverend Mingo is just a tip of the iceberg. And because it happened to someone like a Reverend Mingo, who's much more prominent, he's got more visibility, boom. You know what that means? It means it opens the door for more investigations. Like, props to local media for doing stories about this man and, doing as much follow-up as they have. But we need to get deeper into it. We need to follow the money. I want to know if any of the judges in the housing court, are they stuffing their pockets with either cash from developers, somebody's paying them off, or are they stuffing their pockets with local land? I mean, that's a nice little nest egg. You might retire off something like that. Pardon me. Follow the money. Follow the money. That's what I want to do. Follow the money. Here's my number once again before we break. 513-873-7134. Again, this is the Nathan Ivey Show. I'm live. I'm local. And I'm very vocal. Very vocal. Other things on my radar screen you may discuss today. Monique reveals that Tyler Perry called her after her viral tirade. What a Mitch. What a Mitch he is. I'll explain. Melania slaps away the president's hand during a trip to Israel. Did you see that? He tried to reach out to her and hold her hand, and she just smacked it away. Women are always tripping, aren't they? Now, you have a job to do. You're in Israel. It's the president's first foreign trip, his big foreign trip. And maybe you got into an argument or something the time before that, but you're the first lady. You have to keep up appearances. What's wrong with these folks, man? She anti-Trump? You see, she slapped his hand away. I never saw Michelle Obama slap Obama's hand away. Barack's hand, I never saw that. They seem to have a better relationship. Like the former first lady, the first family, it seemed like they had a better relationship than the current first family. Just me. I've got an audio clip for you. Have you heard the video, the 6-year-old boy condemning gun violence? It's been viewed over 100,000 times on Facebook. His little boy, 6 years old, he says, God is my weapon. God is going to make sure I'm safe. He says, stop killing each other, the boy says. We've got a lot to discuss, so buckle up, stay close, and we'll be back. This is the Nathan Ivey Show.
US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You're bringing your daughter to her favorite pop star's concert. Do you A, wear earplugs?
Isn't this fun, Dad?
I'll have a soft pretzel.
B, remember the moment with matching concert t-shirts?
That's going to be $180. Or we can just take a photo.
C. Show her how you used to do concerts.
We're going crowd surfing!
I can't. It's too heavy. Oh, my God. Ah.
Or D. Just roll with it.
Woo! Justin! Look at us. We're over here.
Justin! OMG! I love you, Justin! I love you!
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org/AL. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Adopt U.S. Kids.
To be a caregiver to Mom, I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing.
Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and
Thank my mommy for loving me so much.
For taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot.
For leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Act.
Trust Park, Nathan Ivey, the man, Cincinnati's only voice. And go to nathanivey.com, man. Check him out.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. You know, I help people solve difficult problems every day, but one problem has me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. Luckily, the Feeding America network of local food banks collects surplus food, giving hope to hungry children and their families. But they need your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you
This is the Nathan.
Hey.
This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Get ready to be engaged. Get ready to be informed. Get ready to be enlightened. Get ready to be enraged by the man City Beat Magazine called a talk radio rebel. And your host. Now back to the show.
One man, one mic, one mission. And my mission is to change the way Cincinnati sounds. I think we sound rather bland. The landscape is rather bleak. But at least we can get together every morning and chop it up. Good morning, choppers. What's new? Well, let me give you a heads up on what's going on in my world. And again, a great way to share or to help support the Nathan Ivey Show is to support the various advertisers, the sponsors that you hear on the Nathan Ivey Show, including my good friends at Park Place Restaurant. Park Place Restaurant is located at 1185 Kemper Meadow Drive off Winton Road. Now, you might be looking for a spot to check out the game. Check out Park Place. Check out Park Place. I think you'll like it. They have lunch specials weekdays between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. and they feature, get this, a healthy choice menu. Now, you know, it's the 21st century and we need to be conscious about what we consume. Well, perhaps you're looking for a spot to hold an event. Maybe you've got an event. I know they got various things that go on there. Everything from networking events to, entertainment events. Numerous things are happening at Park Place. On Wednesday, step out for half-price wine. They title it, what's it called? What they call it out there is Wine Down Wednesdays. On Thursdays, speak your mind with spoken word. Park Place Restaurant has a live band every Friday, choppers, with no cover charge, just food and drink specials. I like food and drink specials. Park Place Restaurant is located at 1185 Kemper Meadow Drive in Forest Park, right behind the Shell gas station. Or call ahead at 513-825-8888. Now, perhaps you're driving through the Cincinnati area and you're looking for a cool spot to stop off, check out Park Place. Again, 1185 Kemper Meadow Drive off Winton Road. And you can call ahead to reserve your table at 513-825-8888. Park Place Restaurant, the place to eat. Google it, choppers. And it is that time of year again. Spring is here. Flowers are blooming. Cicadas are swarming. And you've got a ton of yard work to do and no one to help you. Your gutters need cleaning. Perhaps your grass needs to be mowed. Perhaps your garage needs to be cleared out. If only there was someone close by to help. Now there is. Just Hire Me is a teen staffing platform where neighbors and businesses can hire teenagers within their community for small projects and light chores. Our teenagers, 14 to 18 years of age, will gladly help with your household needs. If your business has picked up during the spring and summer months and you want quality help in the office from a young person, contact Just Hire Me today by going to their website, justhireme.co, and sign up to request a teenager in your community. Join Just Hire Me by hiring a teenager and helping to reconnect communities one hire at a time. I like that concept. Just Hire Me is the safest job solution for teenagers and neighborhoods. Our teens have went through 4 weeks of job development so that they are ready for you. Remember, when you need help in your neighborhood, hire from within the neighborhood by going to justhireme.co. Again, that's www.justhireme.co. Switching gears, good morning to you. Currently 8:01 a.m. in the Queen City. Today is Tuesday, May 23rd, and you found us. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Now, at the top of the hour, I'm scheduled to be joined by a man who, he just told me just a bit of his story yesterday. Scheduled to be joined by Earl Starr, and I want you to hear his story. Let me go to the phones here. Okay, I see it. What? I see you, Tanika. It's the internet. Okay, I got adult ADD like everybody else. Let's go to the phones. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Good morning.
Is this Earl? What's up, Earl?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing great, man.
This is me.
Yeah, welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show. Earl Starr, everybody. Absolutely, man. Well, where should we start, Earl? I mean, let's take it from the very top, man. As if, again, we got people listening all over the country, but primarily in the Cincinnati region.
Okay.
And, your story first came to me when I saw it in the local news. And the article was, should this man's house be taken from him? Basically, that was the gist of the article. Should the owner of this Evanston home go to jail for building code violations? And as I didn't even read the story, and my reaction was no. I mean, no one should go to jail for a minor building code violation. But let's tell us your story, Earl. Take it from the top. When did this all start?
Okay, let's explain first a little bit about building codes. It's designed for safety. We all understand that. We don't want a house next to us that's ready to fall in on our property. But my house is no such thing. So when I purchased a property in early February of 2015, I wasn't aware of any violations. My agent, we had looked through probably 30, 40 houses before I seen this one. And I walked in. It was the diamond in the rough, just like she said in the article. So let's fast forward a little bit to.
First, tell us about the home. Tell us about the home. Is it a one-family home, two-family? How many bedrooms? How many baths?
Okay, it's a two-family home. Whoever had it redesigned for that from probably the first time it was built, and it was in a two-family fashion. Now, one whole family lived in here, and the only unique thing about it was that it was set up like a two-family, but all the utilities were ran together. So that was the only big issue that I saw when I saw the property. You know, vandalized houses are everywhere. To give you a little background about me, I'm an engineer. I'm not afraid of my past, man, at all. And I'm a barber. I obtained both of those licenses while incarcerated. And upon release, I worked for 8 years for Smart Paper as an engineer. I used to buy and sell electric from an electric board inside the plant, where I basically had to sync our turbines electrically with the lines out on the street that you see that lead to your house. So I dealt with all types of electric, plumbing, pipe fitting, pumps, and evaluations. I used to have to evaluate the whole meal and do a report every hour. So I'm familiar with a lot of code things and safety things. And I bought the house because it really didn't need anything. Just some love, some paint here, there, some holes in walls needed fixed, a couple pipes were tore out, just the kid vandalism. And purchased the house for $8,200. My intent when I purchased the house was to secure a future for me and my son. I knew his mom was going to die. I didn't know how soon, but we knew we were going to lose her. And 23 days later, we did. So my mode changed to have the property, rent out downstairs, make it easy for myself. I could be a barber, not go back to corporate America and swing shifts and all that, and not be able to be a part of my son's life like I needed to be. So I chose to be a barber, purchased the house. I knew I would have no rent, no mortgage to pay, just fixing up. And be able to have income coming in from the house that would support my bills, and everything I made as a barber would support our lifestyle.
Right. You're trying to set yourself up. I mean, everybody wants that. You're trying to set yourself up in a positive way, in a legal way for your child. That's what every man would do or wants to do.
So in doing the right thing, I had came home from incarceration and came to the halfway house. So once I did this and realized what I had to do, I started a business. I went back to the halfway house. I hired guys to come in and help me clean up, that sort of thing. I paid with company checks, everything. And things just got so hard mentally and financially. I had to stop my business and took the money out of my business and purchased the house. But the money from the business started from my 401k from Smart Paper. And my intent then was to redo the house and show people. I was going to post everything. I have all my financials on Facebook so our people can see how easy it is to overcome some of the struggles in society when trying to find a job or a steady career, not just a job, but a career. So I started Rehome Projects Corporation and bought this house as to be the staple, the example for everyone to see what positive things can do for you. And the agent said, Starr, you got a good start right here. It's the house you've been looking for. And I had purchased other houses through her before. And
so Earl, tell us, when did you first start having a problem? You said that when you purchased a home, it already had some issues.
Yeah, and I didn't know. So after a year went past, everything was resolved with my son's mom and me and her sister. were cleaning out the house, and the police were called. This was in March of 16. And she had the wheel with her, and they ran everybody's ID. Man, they treated me like a true animal. The lady said I had a warrant for a robbery, and that's what I had went to jail for previously 20 years prior. I'm like, hold up. You can cuff me, all that, but she tried to cuff me so rough, I was just like, hold up. I called another officer. Next thing I know, it's like 20 police cars, like I was really a suspect. And this was all for a code violation. And that day, I was panicking because I usually, if I can't pick up my son, I'll call his aunt. And we were both there. So we were stuck, and my child couldn't get picked up from school. I had to call, explain, embarrassment. The first start of it. So I go to court, and they tell me BBML filing. I said, what's that? What's it for? And why do I need it? And the Judge Greenberg at this time says, maybe the city can say, and Sean Minahan says, oh, that's so when you're working on your house, the inspector can come by and tell you what you need to do next. I said, that's it? He said, yeah, pretty much. And I said, okay, Your Honor, can you record this into proceedings? Earl Starr, Ohio Engineering License Number 13351. I'm well qualified to know what I need to do next. If that's it, am I free to go? So Mr. Minahan breaks in again and says, no, sir, the building's vacant. I said, no, sir. I said, I live on the second and third floor with my child. I have water, electric, everything. I'm on PIP. He says, okay, I just need to see inside to make sure that it's livable. Now, here's where everything comes into effect.
All right.
And I'm going to break it down kind of from the end. At the end of all this, I get a letter from Art Dahlberg. Now, I'm going to let the whole public know I'm not scared of anyone, and I will name everybody in this case and what they have done, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you're perverting the law, the public needs to know. So, Art Dahlberg's letter states that they put orders on people's outside to gain entry if they think that there's something wrong with it. If they think that something's wrong with it on the inside. So my original orders, I had one order, 3 conditions. My conditions were my windows, my downspouts, and my chimney. Now, it's slated to remain vacant because of that. This is all I didn't know. So when I purchased the property in February and she died late February, I tried to get started the beginning of May. And by chance, I had a nephew get killed right behind my barbershop in College Hill. So I took some more time off. I come back in about the end of August, after my birthday, get started. In September, I find a letter in the yard stating this. So I call Kevin Rhodes. I leave 2 messages, no return call. So I end up getting arrested. Now, so those conditions were replace the windows, replace the downspouts, and tuck point the chimney. I put the ladder up there, tuck point the chimney, pulled the old chimney cap down, and it was done. I went and bought extra downspouts, and me and a friend of mine climbed up, put the downspouts on. After buying the house, 2 weeks later, my son comes home from Evanston Academy with in his book bag, in his notebook, pull out to do his homework. Here's a thing for weatherization program from the home ownership of Greater Cincinnati. I'm like, wow, my God is blessing me. Call them. They said, come to the meeting. It's tonight. Don't miss. Get there, get signed up, get okayed. and it was just a grant for windows, no charge. All you had to do is stay here 5 years. I'm like, man, I'm just buying it. So they come over, measure my windows, and I talked to, at the time, the gentleman working there, his name was Lance, and they're measuring for the windows and everything, and I said, hey, how long is it going to take, man? I like to fix some of these walls, do some remodeling, paint, whatnot. I don't want to get anything on, new windows or, He's like, okay, go ahead. You got plenty of time. Man, that was the worst thing I could have ever done right there. But what it did was prolong getting the windows because now the city's involved. And I'm in court, and they're saying these things about these things, and I'm telling them, okay, I got a grant. So in waiting for Kevin Rose to come, just to show a little bit about how the city operates, the Cavaliers had just won on Monday night. I had to go to court Tuesday morning. I took off. I'm at a different barbershop now. I'm in Pleasant Ridge at Headliners. Higher clientele, prices are a little more, but services, commensurate with what you get. And I started missing days due to court. And I go this day. I took vacation, so I wouldn't be missing any more days. Took vacation, go to court. The gentleman before me is from out of town. He tells the judge, Greenberg, Your Honor, I've been flown in 3 times. Nobody will meet me at the property. I got pictures. And Mr. Minahan steps in. I don't want to see pictures. I want to see an inspection report. He said, well, I done flew in 3 times. I'm not from here. And to check this, all you had to do is go back to the records, and you'll see I'm telling the truth. So the gentleman says, well, you have inspectors here in court. Can they follow me up there? And he said, no. Here's his card, set an appointment. He said, Your Honor, can you just look at the pictures? This gentleman showed pictures to show what was wrong with my property. I'm showing you that it's fixed. So then Mr. Minahan says, okay, are you done or are you finished? He said, well, I guess if I completed everything you told me to have done, then I'm finished. He said, okay, you finished. Here's his card. Call him. And sent him on his way. I'm the next person up. Now, I'm on my way out of town. Me and my son are going up to the Cavs parade. I had already determined this. So I come up. I said, Your Honor, nobody showed up. Now, it's the first time Mr. Rose set an appointment and didn't show up. And he says, well, Mr. Minahan said, well, we can go up there right now. I'm blown away. Like, you just told the man before me nobody can go, but now you ready to go with me? I said, no, sir, you can't go right now. He said, why not? I said, the Cleveland Cavaliers won last night. I took vacation this week. Me and my son going up to see the Cavs parade. And so the judge says, okay, how about a week continuance? I said, that's fine. I come back. I call Kevin Rose. I set 2 appointments, and he missed. This goes on all the way until August. Him not showing. Not me. Him not showing. I'm going to court sometimes twice a month. And court records will show.
And you're missing work when you do this.
For dismissal because nobody would show.
Hey, Earl, let me jump in here real quick, man. Let me jump in here, Earl. Speaking with Earl Starr, he's telling a story about, well, just dealing with housing court here in the city of Cincinnati and the trials and tribulations. So, Earl, I mean, let the folks know. So that's not a small thing. Like, when you're going down to court, people think, oh, you just show up at court. That means that you're, in some cases, missing a whole day's worth of work. Exactly. And for working folks, that's not a small thing. That is a huge decision to make. It's a whole day's worth of salary.
I'm saying this in court, and I'm telling them this in court. So I'm requesting dismissals because nobody wanted to show. And I've already took evidence down to show with my Duke bill and everything that I'm on PIP and I'm creating bills in here. My house is safe. Me and my son ain't dead yet. We done went through 2 winters in here. So, once, we get back in court, it's like, they don't want to hear it. And I'm asking for dismissal. So in August, the judge orders a court-appointed appointment. And he said, and just so happens, for me, it's on Back to School Monday. Now, I got 7 appointments set up on my online booking service, Vagaro, and I done pushed back these appointments all the way to where I done lost all of them. It's 4:30. I pick up the phone. I call attorney Victor Dwayne Sims. I said, sir, I need representation. I need to call down the building department, explain to him what's going on. So we called down. We talked to Al Taylor. He says, I can be there at 8:30 in the morning. I said, no, we got court tomorrow. I just want you to know that your man has missed again. Oh, I can be there at 8:30 in the morning. I said, sir, I got 2 kids. One I got to drop off at school. The other one I have to drop off at daycare in Lincoln Heights. I got to be at court at 10. I'm not missing court. And the reason why I did not want to miss court was because, I'll explain. You'll get a capias and $5,000. And if they see you, pull you over, anything, they take you to jail. So I don't want this. So I leave, drop my kid off, all that, go to court. They make me last. Al Taylor walks in and says, testifies. Your Honor, I went by the gentleman's property. I saw material stacked up on his 2nd and 3rd floor. Now, everybody can see my pictures online and see my house. If you can stand anywhere on the ground and see in my 2nd and 3rd floor and see material stacked up, you 30 feet tall. Because it's impossible. So,
did he have a ladder? Or, I mean, is there any way possible for him to have seen that? I'm looking at so that's the home that we're talking about. The photograph that's in the I think it's Cincinnati or WCPO. Is that in fact okay?
Right.
And it is set up high.
Right. So if you see on the 2nd and 3rd floor, either you got a trampoline and you can jump, because the inspector has a mode of operation, and it's denoted in their training books that they are not to go past the mailbox unless given written authorization by the homeowner or be present with the homeowner. And I was not here. So the judge sentences the trial based on that, Judge Greenberg. And I'm pissed, because I didn't ask for 3 dismissals, and now you want to send it to trial because nobody showed after you ordered them to show on Monday, and they did not. Then you give them another chance with me not there, and you believe the testimony of Al Taylor. That is so detrimental in this case, because I'm going to show you why. And I told you I'm not scared of these people. So send it to trial. I come to court the next time. And let's see, I come to court after that with all my information. Oh, no, we didn't set it for trial. Yes, you did, Your Honor. Here's my pictures from my house. Here's my bills, water bills, everything. Here's everything so you can see that it's livable in my house. I have an 8-year-old child. I'm college educated. I hold 2 licenses. Actually, I held 3. At one point in time, I was a pesticide applicator as well. And you're acting like I got a child in a dump. I'm no fool. So he says, okay, well, it ain't for trial today. We'll continue on. Let them in your house. I said, okay. So I let them in my house on my birthday, August of 16, the 23rd. Mr. Taylor shows up. Mr. Rose shows up. Now, here's where everything comes into play. Mr. Rose don't have no discipline under his belt. He's not a plumber. He's not licensed for anything. But guess what? His daddy is Dusty Rhodes. So if he makes it so it seems like my house is unlivable, guess who gets my house? His daddy. Now, Mr. Taylor comes in. I'm putting child-proof plugs in certain rooms. I'm working. I'm fixing my house up to be something spectacular. So I'm doing everything I need to do, especially in that area. And he says, okay, I see you got a plug out there. You know, you need to get that in, this and that, just nitpicking. So he walks over and he sees a design where, just to explain it to you like this, my water, I designed this, is in the kitchen, comes from a glass tube out of the ceiling.
A glass tube?
A glass tube. And you have to view it like this. A 1/2-inch pipe in circumference, blown glass with bubbles in it, coming down to a spout. You turn it on from a valve, just like when you turn your shower on and you look up in your shower coming down. Same principle. Oh, he's got PVC and pipes running out of the ceiling and it don't work, and he ain't got no smoke detectors, none of this stuff. Now, PwC put it in way back in July. So
PwC, people working cooperatively?
Correct.
Okay.
They came. I've had numerous people come. They came and fixed a leak on my roof, gave me free detectors and CO2 monitors and all that from the basement all the way up. And he's saying he didn't see none. All this to prove that it's not livable. So here's another issue. I mean, not another enlightenment. I have a friend that worked for him for a while, and he said, Starr, go down and get your orders, man. As soon as they left, he said, go get your orders. So I leave. It's my birthday. I'm pissed. I'm crying. I'm tears rolling out my eyes. This man just told me I'm going to have you put out your house. And so I told him, okay, since that's the evidence you got.
Is that actually what he said? I'm going to have you put out your house?
That's what he said. That's what he said. I'm going to have you put out here. This ain't livable. Well, so I showed him the door. Now, this is August. You got pictures, whatever, and you saying it ain't livable. Okay, no problem. Now you can go. Called my friend. He said, go down and get your orders, man. See what's mandated. I go down, get a copy of the orders, and the lady sees I'm visibly shaking. She says, sir, do you want to speak with somebody? I said, yeah. I don't know who to talk to. She said, how about Ed Cunningham? I said, I don't know him. Okay. Standing there waiting, in comes Al Taylor. I mean, he literally sprints over to me and says, Mr. Starr, can I help you with something? I said, no, you cannot. Please step away from me. And the lady comes out. And she says, here he comes, sir. He's coming out to get you. I said, okay. He says, who's he waiting on? She says, Ed. He goes through the double doors. Now I'm waiting a half an hour. Mr. Cunningham comes out, gets me, takes me in the back. I know he didn't talk to him. He says, okay, what's going on? I tell him the whole gist. I said, no, I ain't know it was no orders on the house. Purchased the property, went to court. They said VBML. I was already living there. I'm on PIP. I got a child, just lost his mom to cancer. I'm getting the property together. The first floor is vacant and uninhabitable. Come see. He said, okay, Mr. Starr, go home. When are you supposed to go back to court? I said, September the 6th. He said, you won't have to go that day. I said, I won't? He said, no, I'll handle this. How long do you need to handle putting fire bond in on the first floor ceiling, the downstairs apartment, basically. Fix the porch column. As you walk up, the base was being eaten away. And, tighten up, this and that, put these outlets going back in and put your cover plates on. I said, okay, I need about 60 days. He says, okay, I'll leave. Before I get home, Keith Furman, the prosecutor on the case, calls me. He says, Mr. Starr, Keith Furman, prosecutor on your case in the building department. I said, housing court. I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm calling to tell you that I had talked with Mr. Cunningham and we're going to give you extra time. You don't have to show up on the 6th. Go ahead and get that stuff done. Call Kevin Rose to come out and inspect before we go back to court first Tuesday in October. I said, okay. So I'm working, time coming up to go to court. Talk to my friend again. He said, man, you crazy? You better go down there. They setting you up. He said, if you don't think they are, then just sit outside in the hallway. They got to come out there and call you. Lo and behold, I'm sitting out there, and they come out and call me. Earl Starr. I jump up, running, shaking, like, what the heck's going on? I come in, call me up, say, Your Honor, I don't know what's going on. Your prosecutor called me on my cell phone, told me I didn't have to show up today. Why am I being called? Well, his answer was the inspector has some new information. I said, but you didn't call me and tell me I had to come, but you called me and told me I didn't have to come. I said, so somebody playing games with my property, Your Honor, and I'm requesting that this be dismissed based on all this that's been going on. And he says, no, you can't get it dismissed. Well, what happened? And I said, he called me and told me I didn't have to come. I said, now you sent this to trial based on Mr. Taylor's testimony that he saw material stacked up on my second and third floor. I said, I look on the internet, I find out his mode of operation should not take him past my mailbox. I said, therefore, he had to put a ladder up to my house. Did he recognize that somebody was home? I said, this man violated my privacy. Judge Greenberg tells me, get out of my courtroom, Mr. Starr. Aren't you going to finish what you told Mr. Cunningham you were going to do? Why is the judge introducing evidence into a courtroom that the prosecution never said anything about, nor me, and then tell me to get out of his courtroom? So I had to leave, go do more work. I had to, Ed Cunningham comes.
Like he said that in court to you?
He said that in court to me.
So when you go to housing court, are you able to have legal representation, or is it just?
Yes, you can if you need it. If you think you need it, yes. At this point, I didn't need it. I was living here, so I don't need a vacant building maintenance license. If the building ain't vacant, the downstairs is, and I told them it's vacant and uninhabitable because I hadn't even finished all the finishing touches in my own apartment, and they started making me have to put funds and stuff elsewhere without even mandating it. I'm trying to do it. Now, I'm trying to work with them. You tell me to take all the ceiling down, put fire bond in, do this and do this and do this. You ain't mandated it, but I did it because you asked me, because you Ed Cunningham and you asked me. He comes out to the house. He says, well, what permits do you think you're going to need? I said, I know I'm going to need this. I'm going to need to separate the electric. I got to go to IBI, get a permit, and have it separated. He said, what else? On my third floor is a jacuzzi that's not even installed. Had been there since purchase. I left it up there. I thought it'd be cool to put in. Whoever took it up there had the idea, so I said, yeah, me too. I made the third floor my area with my own bath, like a master bedroom and a bath. And I was going to have the plumbing put in. I said, I'm going to have to get a plumbing permit to put this in. I had removed the walls to see the plumbing and realized what they were telling me, that the plumbing did not meet requirements. So I told Mr. Cunningham, here's this plumbing right here. I know I got to replace it. He said, yes, you do. I want to see a permit for that, and I want to see a permit for the separation of the electric. So I did the permit. I went and got the IBI permit, chased down all the lines in the house, separate them, climbed up on the pole, cut the wires from the power coming in. I used to do this now. Cut the lines from the power coming into the house from Duke Energy. Ran all new line, put new meters outside, ran them in the house, put a new box in, and separated the electric wires. IBI come out and inspect. I passed the very first time. I didn't have to pay no more money for them to come back. The gentleman walked in, walked around through the basement, seen all the house. I said, man, you did a good job. He said, you work for somebody? I said, no, sir. He said, are you licensed? I said, I'm a licensed engineer. He said, well, you did a good job, man. Here you go. Your final's done. And leaves. I called Duke Energy. They said, well, do this and this inside, and we'll come back. I said, okay. Did it, called them. They came out, put a new meter in. So now I got electric for both units. I just don't have that unit on because I'm not going to pay for that electric.
I'm speaking with Earl Starr. Hey, Earl, somebody in the audience wants to know, do you still have the house? Now, I know
I'm living in the house. I'm standing in my dining room right now in front of all this paperwork.
When I saw the image of you in the media, you had a monitoring system on, an ankle bracelet.
Yes, I still have it on.
And is that in relation to this case?
Yes, it is.
So
now, what happened?
Tell me how you got an ankle bracelet because of something that happened in housing court.
This is what happened in housing court. I hired Victor Dwayne Sims. He sees that all I need to do to fulfill these orders is to get my windows put in. He gets a continuance in December that takes me, in January, that takes me past the 30th of January to have my windows put in. Windows got put in the 30th. We go to court on Valentine's Day. When the windows get put in, Kevin Rhodes and Mr. Cunningham were supposed to show up. Only Kevin Rhodes showed up. He didn't want to come in. He waited 45 minutes outside my house. And he came in after Mr. Cunningham called me on the phone, said he can't make it. Kevin would be here with a guy named Sean. Sean never showed, so he came in by himself. The lady had me signing paperwork for my windows from the home ownership center. He seen all the windows that were put in. He left, said, okay, you're okay. So when we go to court, I'm expecting them to say, you've been released from your orders. And they don't. They hand me 5 more things to do. That's not even been, here's where my rights has been violated. You haven't duly served me these orders. You're trying to piggyback off of some other orders and make me do other things that you just want to create havoc for me. And what it was, he told me to have structural drawings from an architect stating that my floor would hold the tub upstairs, in which I got that. I said, just use a span calculator if you know what you're doing. Any inspectors, it'll show you. If you need species of wood, I'll pay for that. Okay, so once I'm in housing court for that, and they say you can't put the tub in without a permit and all this, Mr. Sims says he's not doing this, or I tell him I'm not doing this anymore because I can't afford it. And this is why. No plumber wants to deal with the city unless they charge you over $1,000 for those services alone, just for dealing with the city, because they're going to make you come 4 or 5 times. So plumbers tell me, no, I can't do that. I don't want to do that because I don't want to deal with the city. So I'm in housing court, and they tell me I got to get in the compliance program. I'm like, no, I'm finished with my orders. My windows is in, my downspouts replaced, my chimney's tuck pointed. I should be finished. No, you're not. Why not? That's what you told me I'm in court for. So he takes my lawyer. Well, when we go back to court, they take Mr. Sims in the back. He comes out, and I'd already told him, no compliance program. I'm finished with my orders. You see this. He told me to go down to the courthouse and get the original affidavit of what they charged me with. I got it. He seen that, ordered the continuance so I could get the windows in to clear everything up. They don't want to release me. So when we go back to court and they tell him compliance program, he comes out with me, I fire him right there. I say, Your Honor, he's not doing what I asked him to do. I don't need him. I need a continuance to get me another lawyer. He says, okay, Mr. Sims, are you okay with being removed? He said, yeah, you can remove me. Okay, duly noted, you've been removed. Now, y'all need to take him in the back, talking about me, and get this stuff settled. So they take me in the back where they ain't recording. Man, and berate me like I was a fucking 13-year-old kid or something.
Really? How many people were in the room?
God is my witness, man. Me, the prosecutor, Sean Minahan, some little clerk that was back there or something, and another guy walked in, and they're like, so Sean Minahan walks up to me within 3 feet, says, so are you really an engineer? And when I go to respond, he puts his hands within 2 inches of my face and said, I don't want to hear that bullshit. That's the words out of his mouth.
Damn. He put his finger in your face?
Walks away from me with this little cup of coffee in his hand. I'm going to be honest. I'm ready to put my hands on him. I feel so disrespected. I'm shaking. Tears start coming out my eyes. I'm like, man, what the hell are y'all talking about? I need a lawyer. He said, you're going to sign this paper, get in this compliance program, or you and your son going to be on the street in 2 weeks.
Who said that to you? Who said that?
We're not playing with you.
Who said that?
Now, this is Keith Furman and Sean Minahan. They both at me. Like, this is what it is. You need to get all this stuff handled. And when I walk in court, the judge, this is Judge Bouchard now. He already got this special condition paper drawn up talking about here's the 5 other things you need to do. And if I need to email it to you or something, I'll send it to you. It's so broad, it says get all proper permits for plumbing, electric, HVAC, remodeling work. That's everything. So if I had to go get a permit and I say I got a permit for the whole house electric, they come in my house, they look and see all my light switches, they're going to be like, okay, we can't see in there. You're going to have to tear these walls out so we can see. I ain't finna do that for you. For what? My house been livable. The agent that sold me the house said on the website, she was quoted, we found a diamond in the rough. It didn't need nothing but some cosmetics and some minor repairs. Because I just decided to do a finished job where I can sand my floors and repolish my wood and all that, because I got all wood in here. And it's beautiful, Nathan. And when I finish, I plan on showing it to the whole world just like it from start to finish.
Right. But did you talk about how you actually got the monitoring system?
The monitoring system came because I got into the compliance program.
Oh, okay.
He says, now, no, hold on. He says, now, I go back to court. He said, on the 21st of February, this is when they tell me I got to get into the compliance program. Now, what am I getting into the compliance program for? I'm getting into the compliance program because my windows, my downspouts, and my chimney. But they fixed. So why are you forcing me in this? Why you got me in back of this room with no representation and enforcing this stuff on me and forcing me to sign this paperwork. So I'm thinking like they finna lock me up. Nobody get my child from school again. What's going on? Like, this is all pressure. So when I sign the paperwork, underneath my signature, I sign UD for under duress. Man, I'm crying. I'm literally crying, scared. I lose my house, I lose my child.
That is crazy, man. So as we stand here right now today, where are things? Like, are you in a secure position? Are you looking for legal representation?
Here's where the thing comes in, Nathan. On the 21st of February, he gives me 30 days to fix all this stuff. Get a permit. He said, go get all these proper permits and all this. I go down to the building department to pay for this stuff, man. Now, I got my clients who are behind me giving me prepayments for haircuts to help me. So I get the permit. The guy come and inspect. I get the letter from Art Dahlberg with inserts in there talking about I should get my money back because some of this stuff wasn't permittable, didn't have to have permits. All this paperwork I take to court on the 21st of March. On the 20th, I'll call the home ownership center and say, sir, can I get a letter stating that you consider my house livable and that's why you let me have the windows, because it was an owner-occupied program. He says, Starr, what's wrong? I said, they trying to take my house still after you put the windows in. And Ed Cunningham forwarded a letter to him, said, we're not taking Mr. Starr's house. We're not putting him out. None of that. He can work, his son, blah, blah, blah. That's why they gave me the windows. He's the boss down there. So Judge Broussard says, on the 21st of March, let me see the permit then. Because when I went to get the permit, there was no orders in the computer. The man down there, Phil Pickerton, said to me, sir, you don't have no orders in here. You sure you got orders? I said, yeah. He checked 3 places and made a call. No orders. He said, tell me what you're doing. I'm going to make you up a permit. Told him what I was doing. He made me up the permit. I started the work, got it done. Got part of it done. Called the inspector, E. Bruce Wright. He comes out, says, okay, I see you making progress. So you got up to a year on this with me. I said, okay. Phil tells me after I finish putting my cabinets in and doing my drywall and the paint and stuff, come back, get a permit to put my sinks back into the cabinet. I said, okay. So I tell this to Judge Bouchard. He said, you ain't do nothing I told you to do. 90 days on PMU, and if you don't finish in 90 days, I'm going to lock you up for 180 days.
What's PMU?
Electronic monitoring.
Right, okay.
The box on my ankle.
Wow.
Now, you didn't put me on the box for no reason. But prior to that, I stopped him. I said, hold on, Your Honor. I don't want to argue about none of this stuff no more. I said, Bella, can you get this to the Your Honor? I pulled a letter out of my pocket from the Home Ownership Center that stated they put me in a new program. They were going to finish my house. Finish it. Told me I wouldn't have to do nothing. I could stop working and finish my house under permit with union workers. Put me in a deferred loan program where you qualify if you work, but you may not have to pay it back if you don't make enough. So I said, okay. Now I give that to the judge. I said, if it's all about safety, Your Honor, here's your answer. All the building department has to do is come by, meet with the contractor, tell them what they want done, it'll be done. That's when he said, and you know, Nathan, I ain't scared to say this. I recorded the whole court proceeding because I can't keep paying for these transcripts.
How did you?
If it's public record, I recorded everything that happened in court.
Now, isn't that against the court rules?
It is against the court rules.
You recorded it what, like the audio, or you had like a video rolling?
Audio, because so much has happened to me in this trial that it's kangaroo court. And
what do you want to do with the recording?
it's basically stating how he told me after I said, Your Honor, here's a letter from the homeownership center and said they're going to finish my house for me under permits by union workers. Here's your answer. You want everything fixed in here they can get ready to come do it to satisfy the city and the court. That's when he tells me, okay, now you got 90 days to finish, or I'm going to lock you up for 180 days on EMU for 90 days and report to probation. So now I can't stay out to make the money. I had to stay in on Sunday and Monday, and in order for me to have enough time to take my kids out. Now, for a minute, I had to have somebody take my kid to school on Monday. I had to have my niece take my son to school on Monday and pick him up because I couldn't come out.
Hey, Earl, let me jump in here again, man. I want to get some questions in from the audience.
All right, that's fine. That's what I want.
Yeah, Jordan has, I think, an interesting question. She writes, I'm currently looking for a fixer-upper. What are the top problems I need to be aware of? Questions I should research?
Go to Cages and look on, pull up the property. All you have to do is you can hit Google and say Cincinnati Cages, delinquent violations on property search. And it'll pull up Cages for you. And you punch in the property name, number and address, and it'll give you any orders on the house. All that does, if you're buying it, is give you a viable reason to do like I did and bargain the house down to bottom dollar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you got these liabilities that you're going to have to deal with once you take over as owner. So you bartered it, so you were able to talk them down on the overall price. Is that something that you were aware of? I mean, to me, that seems like a basic step. You said go to Cages. Is it CAGES? What is is that an acronym?
Well, Cages, I mean, a lot of this I'm learning since I've been involved in this, but Cages is where you can check for any house in the city and the property, who owns it, and what the orders are, what the city wants to be fixed for, whatever. It doesn't have to remain vacant. It may just say cut grass, clean up yard, but you got a $750 fine.
And if you assume that ownership of that property, then that fine is now yours.
No.
Is that how that works?
No. The order stays with the house. The fine goes with whose ever name is it on.
Okay. All right.
So if you purchase the house and they had fines, those fines don't follow, but those orders do. You have to still fix the property up so that it remains safe. And what I used was when I came to see the house, when the agent brought me over and we seen everything. I mean, she knows and I know she has property. I've had property before and fixing it up what it takes. So we knew, like, man, ain't much involved here. And I can tell you, man, I got less than $20,000 involved in this, but all my labor.
Right, all that sweat equity. Let me get another question. Is someone asked? We already told us when you go back into court.
My house better be finished, or I'm going to jail for 180 days. Now today, after I get off the phone, about 10:30, the contractor from Homeownership Center and another inspector is supposed to show up, and we're supposed to specify everything that needs to be done, because under the camera on Channel 9, man, you didn't get to see the full story. You didn't see it. But once again, I record anything in my house. That's my right. And I have it on, I have some video, but all the audio. This guy come in like he had been in my house, had set orders on my house, had never been in my house, and act like he knew what he was talking about, and couldn't show me none of the violations he was talking about, and then turn around and left because Channel 9 was here.
Well, since you had that Channel 9 feature, has anybody reached out to you from City Council? Has anybody reached out to you for pro bono work? Because that's what happened with Mr. With the first gentleman, Mr.
Mingo.
Yeah.
Mingo.
He got a lot of help.
Yvette Simpson said, that's Mingo. He, got room and know people. What about the average Joe? Here I am. And ain't nobody came to me and said nothing until yesterday. A Pastor Wheeler called me and said, call me tomorrow after your inspection and tell me what you need. A lady from WCPO's Facebook page contacted me via Messenger, and she says, look, I got some community people ready to help you. Tell us what you need. I had started the GoFundMe because I couldn't find a lawyer in this city. And when I said that at a code enforcement hearing, somebody should have sent a lawyer towards me. But I also called Clyde Bennett II, who told me, you can't win down there, man. I'm not going to take your money. And then once I got WCPO involved, I called him back and said, man, I think I got what I need to help win something down there. Will you just stand up and represent me? I'll show you the case. He said, man, no, I don't want to deal with them, man. I'm too busy. My son's mom, uncle, used to be a prosecutor down there, James Davis. Call him for some help to find a lawyer. He tells me, call William Bell. William Bell Sr., I talked to him. He says, I only called you back because Uncle Bay, James Davis, referred you. City of Cincinnati has so much issues with this house. I'm so busy, I'm ready to retire. I can't take your case. So he said, call to Cincinnati Bar Association. They recommended a gentleman in the Goldberg office who never called me back. I once used Hal Arnstein on a case, told him in the hallway, he said, call me. Called him, explained it, never called me back. No lawyer in the city wants to deal with this. Legal aid. I had called Charlie Winburn a year ago when this first happened. I used to cut his hair when I cut him in College Hill. Nobody wants to help me, man. Everybody's scared. And who said it all was Clyde Bennett. He said, you can't win down there, man. It's all up to the judge. I sure like to know what Judge Greenberg's portfolio looked like prior to him being the head of housing court and what it's like now.
I think that's fair. Also, given what we see, and it seems a bit irrational. It's like, what's the motive for locking up somebody that wants to be who wants to be a property owner? I mean, I can understand if you got just like a derelict property owner and it's dangerous and they don't care. But if you're dealing with people that are struggling to make improvements, to me, those aren't the kind of people you want to incarcerate. It's counterintuitive. It's not productive unless there's a larger plot, if there's a larger agenda. What do you think? There's a bigger agenda working here?
The larger agenda is this. 1 block from me to the east, 140-unit Hilton Garden Inn going in. All up and down Dana and Montgomery Road, Xavier's buying everything. Look on the website, on WCPO, the gentleman from Xavier said he would like to see somebody come into this community and take over the housing and redo all the houses in here. Guess why? So they can put their students down here. It's like they do with CDC or whoever they are, H2G or who. All these builders come in and gentrify these areas, man, and then you can't even afford to move back in it. And that's what they getting ready to do over here.
You know, it's funny because, not funny, but I had talked to, you know who Brian Gary is?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Well, Brian Gary is running for city council, and he's also a developer, and he's also, you know, very vocal about local issues. He was in the courtroom with Reverend Mingo that day. He was the one who called the mayor, John Cranley, and told John Cranley that Reverend Mingo was about to go to jail for 90 days, and we know what happened then. And he said that basically it's gentrification is happening. It's essentially what he said. He said there's people being down there being intimidated out of their homes. Do you want to go to jail or you want to give me your home?
I don't understand our community. When I say our community, I mean the black community first, and then Cincinnati is the second community. If you see somebody that steps up in the news like this, and this is just me because I know what I would do, and anybody that knows me can call in and say so. If I knew somebody was in distress, I'd be there, right there. Tools and truck, what you need. And for nobody in this black community to reach out to me, nobody from city council. Yvette Simpson, where you at now? I'm that average Joe. You ain't called me to say, hey, let me help you. Because they can't help you, man. That's why. Like I said, I called Charlie Winburn's office. I got emails, man. I got paperwork, everything. That's why Channel 9 ran the story. I called them. Nobody can do nothing. Don't act like y'all really got power down there and you don't. Just because you on the city council or this or that. Charlie Winburn, yep. You know I reached out to you. You know I used to cut your hair up at Lou's Barbershop. You remember me. But you can't help. You can't beat the judges. Legal aid wouldn't help.
So you called legal aid and they wouldn't take the case either. They wouldn't even help you.
No, not at all.
So when you go to court, what day, when exactly you due back in court again?
June 21st.
June 21st.
Be done by June 21st.
On June 21st, as you stay here right now, what happens? Are you going to be able to make all the improvements that the judge has ordered before then?
I can say it like this, Nathan. I can get contractors in here. I did the GoFundMe for representation. Now I have representation, and things slowed down from the home ownership center. They have their chance here at 10:30 to redeem themselves, or I'm going to the community for help.
You said at 10:30? 10:30 this morning?
10:30 this morning, the contractor from the home ownership center will meet with the inspector from the city, and he's going to set out a plan. Now, I spoke with him yesterday, and he already talking past 30 days, and I don't have that. And I know it don't take that. He's talking about how plans got to sit down there for these many weeks and all that, and then they send it back to you and say, do this and do that. I know that better not happen with my case. Why you going slow foot? Now, they already slow footed me one time because when they sent the inspector the first time, he was supposed to be a new inspector on my case and show the contractor what needed to be done. And when he seen Channel 9 here, he turned around and left. This is public record. What needs to be done in my house is going to be public record. So what are you scared to show? Or was there really no violations and that's why you can't find none? See, the raw footage from Channel 9 is what I need, and I can't get it. They won't release that to me. But like I said, I got the audio on my phone, and I got to get all this stuff to this lawyer from OhioConstitution.org.
Now, is this lawyer going to go to court with you on June?
It may be bigger than that. He's thinking federal lawsuit against the city. So,
have you contacted the mayor's office?
No, I haven't contacted the mayor's office.
I would do that. I would send him an email. I would send him an email and tell him your story and send him a link, because I don't see how he can resist you. He knows it's a problem. He went over and he saved Reverend Mingo. For him not to even respond to you, again, you got to look at the politics of it as well. It's an election year. For him not to respond to you at all, I think would be highly prejudicial to the way some people might perceive him, during this election process. But you got to reach out to him and at least give him a chance to respond. Maybe you'll get lucky.
I'm going to do that. And I tell you what, it's Tuesday. I'll come back on the show on Thursday and let you know what his response was.
I'll tell you what, I'll send you a link of today's podcast as well. Let them know you was on with the Nathan Ivey Show, whatever that means. But what it tells them is that you're out here doing media, you're telling your story, and it's a very compelling story. And hopefully,
City B came by yesterday.
Okay. So they're doing a feature on you as well.
Yes.
Okay.
They're incorporated into their story on code enforcement.
Great. That's great to hear. I mean, what's going to save you is press. I mean, that's
fine.
Right. That's what'll save you.
Ain't no lawyer in this city willing to step up against them. I'm telling you, man, they're scared of the city.
The other thing with the members of City Council, Earl, is that you send them an email. If you don't send them an email and let them know, you let them off the hook. You're making it easy for them. Because they can easily say, I didn't know. I didn't see City Beat. I didn't hear the Nathan Ivey Show. But if you send them an email, and the thing about email is this a record?
I know it.
So send each and every member of council an email and tell them your story, and then just sit back and see who responds and who says what. See, then you can hold them accountable and say, listen, I tried to respond to you. You might even have to follow up with several emails with all of them. But if nobody responds, that's your response. And at least you have a record. At least you can say, I honestly tried to communicate with these individuals.
Yeah, I mean, now I'll say this. The city manager was notified on this a year ago when Mr. Taylor put this ladder up to my house and I told them about it. They told me there's no recollection of that. I don't have no proof of that. And all this. I got the emails, man. I'm telling you, I got this story. I've been called them. They all know this, man. This ain't something new. It's been going on for over a year, man. I done lost business, customers. My Tuesday customers just vanished because I was always in court on Tuesday. Housing court day. I'm suffering from this, man. But I'm going to stay strong because I ain't giving up my house. I'll tell you just like this. If you're an investor and got some money, go down on Tuesday because they trick somebody every Tuesday into giving them their house. So why they got a deficit of $26 million, but you got all these properties given to the house bank that you could redo, put somebody in, get rent out of them, and pay them bills? What y'all doing with these houses? I'll tell you what they doing with them. Al Taylor, on this case, his daddy got a demolition business. He's walked out of court. Go to the records to everyone that his daddy got a check from the city for tearing the house down. He's walked out of court and told his daddy, tear it down. I know this for a fact. Go back through the records, somebody, whoever got the power, go back through the records and see the date that the judge said tear it down and the date he tore it down. It's supposed to be a bid on that. That's what this city is about. I told you, man, I'm not scared of nobody, and I'm going to tell you everything that's going on in this building department and all this stuff. I ain't new to the real estate and doing properties. My agent said that. So this is what's going on. Everybody getting their hand rubbed. And like I said, they passed it from Judge Greenberg to Bouchard. Let's look at what he got now and what he going to have after he get done. Let's look at what Judge Greenberg, what he had before he got in house court, and what he got now, him and his cronies. Because that's what this is all about. This city is bought and sold with government contracts and all that. That's where this city is at, man. I'm telling you. I know it for a fact. Like I said, I had a friend that worked for him. He said all this. So this is where it's at, man.
Hey, Earl, listen, man. Thank you for your time this morning, man. I appreciate it. I really do.
And I appreciate it too, man.
And the door is open, man. You've got my number. I'm on 7 to 9 Monday through Friday. I mean, feel free to hit me up if you want to come back on and for sure, hit us up. I mean, I want to talk to you the day before you go to court to make sure everything's good with you.
If you don't hear from me, it's going to be because they didn't lock me up on some technicality, on some ankle bracelet crap. I tell you, man, this warfare, man. This is warfare, man, for all our society, not just me. Because if your house is in an area where they getting ready to do some economic building, everybody knows in economic development, some people get pushed out, some people get bought out, the others they let die out. We seen it in Norwood. I got my rights, man. I bought this house with my hard-earned money, man. Ain't nobody taking it from me.
Hey, Earl, man, I'm with you, brother. Thank you so much for your time, man. And thank you for telling your story.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely, man. That's Earl Starr right there, man. Woo, I mean, dang, that's all you can say. What did he do wrong other than the fact that he didn't? He sounds to me like the kind of man that if he would have had the funds to go ahead and make these renovations like boom, 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 real quick, then he would have dealt with it. Just because you may be struggling on the finances. And again, it's a fine line. It's a fine line. Because on one hand, it's like, don't take on this responsibility if you can't financially take on this responsibility. Okay, there's some people that have that side of it. Like, if you don't want to get caught up in housing court and you don't want to have to be paying taxes and worried about all this kind of stuff and it's a struggle, then don't bite off more than you can chew. You know, people might say, do your due diligence, okay? Make sure you go to cages. Thank you for the clarification. I mean, thank you for the post, Deanna. Appreciate all the good information. B, Carolyn, everybody, Jordan. CAGES is an acronym for CA. It's an acronym for Cincinnati Area Geographic Information System. Thank you, B. AKA CAGES, C-A-G-I-S. And B writes, it's a super detailed version of Google Maps for Cincinnati properties. I mean, if you don't check CAGES before you get your property, whose fault is that? Is it my fault? No. Should you lose your home because of it? I would say no. But that's a thin line. I mean, anytime you build a system and humans are involved, some humans are going to try to find a way to turn it toward them for profit. They're going to try a way to manipulate the system. I mean, this is the beginning. This is human beings. This is human nature. So maybe housing court was set up initially with a good idea, and it's just hasn't been had enough guidance, not enough oversight, perhaps. Angela writes, we need Cranley on this pronto. I would agree. He needs to call the mayor's office. So good morning, caller. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing very well. And you?
I'm doing great. Black Lion, what's going on?
That's pretty heavy, ain't it?
Super heavy.
Super heavy. And I thought about it. I said, well, damn, you didn't giving your allegiance to a country that's sitting in somebody else's house right now. It's built off of stealing people's homes. It's kind of ironic, ain't it?
What's the irony?
That you got a problem with it on one hand, but you cool with it on the other hand.
I don't see what your point is, man. But I'll tell you what, I'm late for a break, man. Hold on for 1 second, because you're on some nonsense. Hold on for 1 second, and let me take a quick break. I mean, same old flow with my man BL. But we can get into it, though. I know where you're going, and I'm ready for it. All right, 513-873-7134. BL, please hold on, and I will take your phone call right after this.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do. Tell the world I see with an emoji to stop the bullies.
Know someone who's being bullied online? Send the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more about the witness emoji at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Presents multiple choice parenting.
You've accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
No. Sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C, look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kind of love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Adopt U.S. Kids.
1,000 pitches teaching him to hit a home run.
spent countless Saturdays running routes so he could learn to hit an open receiver. Endless afternoons teaching him how to hit the three-pointer. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit? Teaching boys that all violence against women is wrong is one of the most important things a man can do. Learn how to start the conversation at teachearly.org. Brought to you by Futures Without Violence.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. And you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to. Nope. I'm sure you've got a perfectly good excuse. Kids, work. I get it. You're busy. So what better time than now? Let's begin. Raise one finger if you're a man. Ladies, none yet. Oh, count in your head if you're driving. Now, 3 more fingers for everyone over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40, 1 more if you're not physically active, another finger if anyone in your family has type 2 diabetes, another if you've got high blood pressure. If you're overweight, raise another finger, 2 if you're very overweight, and 3 if you're really overweight. You've just taken the world's first audio prediabetes test. And if you're holding up 5 or more fingers, visit doihaveprediabetes.org or talk to your doctor. There's no excuse because prediabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Pre-Diabetes Awareness Program.
Nathan Ivey, the man, Cincinnati's only voice. And go to nathanivey.com, man. Check him out.
Happy Tuesday to you. My pleasure to be with you. Nathan Ivey in the air chair. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Today's Tuesday, May 23rd, 2017. And many thanks to my guest, Mr. Earl Starr, for telling his story earlier. Pot that down, DJ. Before we go back to our phone call, we got Mr. Black Lion on the line. And buckle up for more lion taming. I may do a whole podcast series with my man Black Lion. Before we get back to that, I want to share a few words from my sponsors. I found a new spot called Park Place Restaurant. It's located at 1185 Kemper Meadow Drive off Winton Road, Choppers. You can stop by any weekday from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. and check out their lunch specials. They feature a healthy choice menu. Are you looking for a cool spot to watch the game? Check out Park Place. Are you looking for a place to wind down? Check out Park Place. Perhaps you're looking for a place to host your next meeting or event. Check out Park Place. Park Place Restaurant is the place with a good, healthy choice menu, live entertainment, and great prices. On Wednesdays, they encourage you to step out. They invite you to step out for half-price wine. And speak your mind with spoken word on Thursdays. Park Place Restaurant has a live band every Friday. For those who like to dine or chill and be out with a live band, you like that atmosphere. They feature a no cover charge on Fridays, just food and drink specials. Park Place Restaurant located at 1185 Kemper Meadow Drive in Forest Park, right behind the Shell gas station. Or call ahead at 513-825-8888 to reserve your table. Again, that's 513-825-8888. Park Place Restaurant, the place to eat. Google it, Choppers. Google it. And if you're anything like me, you may have maybe some small projects around the house, and you're looking for someone to perhaps help you. You have no one in mind, no nieces and nephews. Maybe you're looking for some quality help. This could be an opportunity for you. I love this idea. It's titled Just Hire Me. JustHireMe.co. Remember that. That is their website. Perhaps you need your gutters to be clean or your grass to be mowed. Perhaps you've got a room in your house that needs to be cleared out, a long-term project you just never got to. If only there was someone close by to help. Now there is. Just Hire Me is a teen staffing platform where neighbors and businesses can hire teenagers from within their community for small projects and light chores. Think of Rent-A-Kid. Remember Rent-A-Kid? Our teenagers, 14 to 18, will gladly help you with your household needs. If your business has picked up during the spring or you expect a pickup in the summer months, and you want quality help in the office from a young person, contact Just Hire Me today by going to their website, justhireme.co, and sign up to request a teenager in your community. Join Just Hire Me by hiring a teenager and helping to reconnect communities one hire at a time. Just Hire Me is the safest job solution for teenagers and neighborhoods. Very important. Our teens have went through 4 weeks of job development, so they are ready for you. Remember, when you need help in your neighborhood, hire from within the neighborhood by going to justhireme.co. Again, that's www. And of course, this is 2017. If I'm giving you a web address, the 3 dubs are always implied. Justhireme.co. justhireme.co. When I spell things, the MC Dangerous comes out for some reason. I don't know. It's my old school hip hop name. Just Hire Me. And think about the ideas for a second. Let that process about what they're saying to you. If you got a home, you got some projects. And I do know that the good folks from Just Hire Me were contracted by someone who's running for city council. And I believe that person contracted them to do maybe yard signs, things like that, or working on the campaign. I know members of city council are listening right now. And perhaps you might want to work with Just Hire Me. And if you give them a call at some point, hey, listen, this might be long term. Maybe this is something you file away because maybe in a couple of months you may have a project. Give them a call. Again, their website is justhireme.co. Can't go wrong with that. All right, we got Black Lion on the line. Let's get to it. Black Lion, thank you so much for holding and welcome.
It's all brother. I can hold. I ain't tripping.
Yeah. Well, but go ahead and finish your flow, brother.
Oh, no, I was just saying it was heavy what the brother was saying. I feel the brother. I feel his pain. He put all that money in it. He worked. He bought it. He went through white slavery, the white man's slavery of black women and their children, and he came up with the money and got it. It's his. But the white man said no, huh? We'll take it from him.
And what are you going to do to help this brother?
What do you mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to keep living my life the way I'm living.
Which means you ain't going to do ish.
Wrong.
I got it.
I'm not going to one day say, let's go vote on him, everybody. We know
I didn't suggest you vote.
Full of crap.
I know you way too ignorant for that. I know that's over your head. But what are you going to do for this brother, Mr. Black Lion? Other than tell us what we already know and put racial terms on it.
Work for him. I'm going to get in touch with the brother and do some free work for him. That's what I'm going to do.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. I respect. You know what? If you really do that, B, I respect you on that.
The white man, right? I'm asking you a question, son. You asked me a question, I answered it. It's my turn.
Son?
So what are you going to do, son?
Son? Well, I just connected him with you.
You didn't just connect him with me? You think it's the first time I heard about this, brother? You think it's the first time I heard about this type of incident?
It's a good chance.
You think it's the first time in my career what I do, this is the first person that said the white man trying to take my property if I don't get this work done.
You asked me what I've done, brother, sucker, and this is... Wait. Hold on, conscious black man. Hold on, conscious black man. Hold on. And you know what? I just remembered. The last time you called in, man, you and your lady friend, now why you make your girl call into the show and disrespect me?
Oh, brother, I heard about that. Somebody called me up, and I'm so thankful you could go and listen to your show after the fact. I'm so glad. Because that was hilarious. Old girl thought she was calling into a black conscious show. She was so wrong, wasn't she? And it was funny when she was like, I called to listen to black conscious stuff. Ain't this black conscious? You like, no. You're like, oh, so you was that house nigga. I fell out laughing.
Watch your language before I hang up on you, son. But actually, you got that wrong. What I asked her was, son, since you like to throw that around, let me throw it back at you, son. All right, what I asked her, son,
that word means
and you can go back and check out podcasts as well. NathanIvy.com, and you can listen for yourself. It was just a couple days ago, son. But what I said to her was, what I asked her first was, are you an example of black consciousness? And she said, yeah. Hell no, then. No, this ain't black. What she was doing, if that's black consciousness, nah, nope, this ain't conscious. This is not black conscious radio. I don't want to sound nothing like that. She sounded ignorant as hell. And look at you applauding her. But let's get back to the main point, though. I'm happy to... Stop talking, boy. I'm talking. I'm very happy. I said we both can't talk. I'm talking now. Listen, I'm very happy to hear. I'm very happy to hear that you're going to actually do something for this brother, man. Let's get back to that. Forget everything else. That is a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, man.
You brought up a lady who called you and checked you, and you were offended.
Yeah, I brought it up. I made my point. I told you was weak as hell to have her call into the show. I don't believe you wasn't behind it, and that's how it is. What kind of warrior got his woman fighting his battles for him?
People don't have their own mindset. People don't have their own idea to listen to your show on their own. I had to coerce them. I'm cool with that.
Listen, man, I am happy that you're going to hook up with that brother. And to answer your question, I just hooked y'all up. That's a great thing.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. Glad you believed you hooked us up. Cool.
Now, if you actually do some work for him, then I'll be impressed. Right now, you just talking, B.
Yeah, right. That sound like I'm doing what you do. But let me finish making my point because you're interjecting me about the lady who called.
The floor is yours. Go right ahead.
I'm really hoping that's the same lady who videoed us when we were downtown, me and you. And,
it was not. The woman who called you out that day when you got up on the curb has a lot more damn sense than that does. That was disrespectful to even make a connection like that. Stop doing that, son.
I don't hope it's the same woman.
I just told you it was not.
Okay, you said it wasn't the same woman. I don't know how you know the difference of what woman it was.
Because I know the woman who called you out that day. I remember she was there, and she listens to the show on a regular basis. It was a totally different person.
And she called me out. What woman are you talking about? I'm talking about the woman who took the video down there. I'm talking about it was a sister down there who took video. When the cops were saying, get out the street,
yeah,
move out the street.
That's what I'm saying. That sister is not and she actually, you talking about the sister who called you up and backed me up and said you did in fact stay on the curb that day. That sister, that's not the same woman.
I don't know what sister you talking about.
Well, about a month ago, we got into this conversation about whether you actually stayed on the curb because that seems to be a point of contention. You remember that day, the Sam DeBose? And you keep talking to everybody else, and I called you out because when the police said get up on the curb to everybody, you got up on the curb like a good little boy. Remember that? And you kept lying about it, saying it didn't really happen.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you don't remember it? That. Well, guess what? I have a video of it.
I do remember it.
I have the video of it. And that woman texted into the show and backed me up on it.
Because I'm going to find this one sister who also listens to your show, who took the video, and was standing right there with us. So the show.
Well, can you do that after you call Mr. Starr and help him out?
I'm a grown ass man. I don't just stand in the street. I'm way out of my 20s. I'm way past my 30s. That I know you cross the street, you stand on the sidewalk. So I was never in the street to get some stupid ass cop a reason to tell me anything smarter than that, bruh. Strict no good. But let's move on.
You say so, man.
Let's move on.
You know the truth.
Let's move on.
Get up on that curb.
Man.
Yes, sir, boss.
I know you should write a book about dick riding.
Oh, your language, man. Your language. We can't have that. Come on, man. You can be more inventive than that. You just gave me a good excuse, bro. Not that I'm ever looking for it, because sometimes I find a conversation to be entertaining. You used to keep me on my toes, B, but that was years ago, man. That was a decade ago. Man, but one good thing we heard from that conversation is that Black Lion is actually, he's going to reach out to Mr. Starr and do some work. And that is fabulous, man. Say whatever you want to say about B. That's a beautiful thing. And that's the way the radio should work. That's the way radio should work. And I don't know if he made this pledge before. I mean, the only way, listen, Black Lion, you asked me what I'm doing. I just connected you with Mr. Earl Starr. And I'm giving you an opportunity to help this brother, Mr. Conscious Black Man. And then he wants to say, well, what makes you think I heard about it on your show? Well, I just talked to Mr. Earl Starr, and he didn't say that you had ever called him and did any work. He said nobody had. So if you had heard about it before, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on, B? If you had heard about Mr. Earl Starr, see, this is my gift. This is what I do. I was born with the gift of gab. I am the great communicator. It's what I do. I like to connect people. And what you told us, B, is what you do is you work with your hands. You build houses. That is, I respect it. And so either I introduce you to Mr. Earl Starr today for the first time, and now you're going to reach out to him, or I made you remember to do something that you had forgot to do. Either way, that's what I do, B. That's what I do. And you're very welcome. You're very welcome for that. You're very welcome. I just reshared the article that originally aired on WCPO. Now, they've got it locked down now. See how local media works? It's all about the commodification of black pain by the media needs to end. But I get it. I understand. It's all about clicks. So think about how this works. Now, you just heard from Mr. Earl Starr. He feels like he is just being taken advantage of by the local system. And the media reach out to him, right? They reach out to him as they should do to do a story. They're raised in the presence of the things they do and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to look at that story, and maybe this is just their process at WCPO Online. But now, if you want to read the story, you've got to become a WCPO insider. And to do that, they get your email address, which adds to their database, which is just like dollars. So on top of everything else, he's now clickbait. But I get it. And hey, it's the internet. Everything's clickbait. I get it. I get it. 513-873-7134. Robin, I'm glad you back. I'm glad you're back. She writes, OMG, Angela, this is my first day back after a few months. Seriously, this is the reason why I haven't been listening. YBL. See? Holly writes, Nate called him boy. Did I? Think I might have slipped out. I didn't mean to. Or maybe I did. BS3 writes, Black Lion in the building. Jericho writes, what? Wait, when was the call from the female? LOL. It was, I think Carolyn's right. It was Thursday. Oh, you didn't hear that? Near the end of the show? Check out the podcast on Thursday. She was off the chain. Why you hang up on Black Lion? That's what she said. I called in to hear some Black Conscious talk. That's Black Conscious talk? Oh, my gosh. We don't have a chance. We don't have a chance. Thanks for all the interesting posts. Now, Deanna writes, Nathan, you can make the story a PDF and put it on your page. Deanna, I will do that. I will do that. Tracy writes, this is so discouraging for future homeowners. It is for future homeowners who are sort of like doing it on a budget. Jesse writes, I'm so pissed off listening to this man's story about housing court. Carolyn writes, thank you for sharing your story, Mr. Starr. Sister V writes, the housing court was started by Monzel and Paul Booth. It was only supposed to go after slumlords, but when the city is the biggest slumlords, they started going after small violations to gentrify our traditionally black communities. Real-ish. Jordan writes, can you share his GoFundMe page? I did not see that. Tracy writes, sounds like one big ad, good old boy circle. Shannon writes, this is why everyone needs a lawyer on standby. I agree. Sister V writes, we can't let this go down. He's caught in the same matrix as Judge Hunter. Y'all, we got to understand that court system. Greenberg was a magistrate before he became a judge. Sister V writes, Nathan, I will be in court on June 21st. I'm also making calls today to get this brother some help. See, I'm glad we can connect with some people. So that's what I want to do. I want to connect. Great. You can tell it's really getting to him, too. He told me, it's having an impact on his health. Can't sleep. Now, if you can't sleep as an adult, that's terrible. Your body needs rest. He's under a lot of stress. He said he reached out to Winburn. Is it fair to bring this up to Winburn and say, hey, Mr. Winburn, Mr. Starr said he tried to get at you last year and you never got back to him. Can you talk more about that? I mean, what's real is real, and what's not is not, unfortunately. What's real is real, and what is not is not. 513-873-7134. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Let me jump around here. Let me see what people are posting inside the Friends shop. That dude is nuts. He is nuts. Friends like the Nathan Ivey Show. Let me jump in here. See who's posting what. All right. Thank you, Deanna. Oh, man, she posted links. Key C, got some stuff going on the weekend. All right. Did anybody see, I got a clip here I never got a chance to talk about yesterday. And that's the clip of Charles Barkley. Anybody see this? Charles Barkley has a new show in which he's talking about race, which, who put Charles Barkley in, as the host of that show? Maybe it's kind of like a fish out of water type of thing. Because Charles Barkley, it's called American Race. That's the name of the show. Have you been watching this? And I recently saw a clip of the episode in which he talked with Richard Spencer. Richard Spencer is one of these alt-right leaders, and he believes in, white. He wants to basically extend white skin privilege. And he said as much in interviews. You seen this? And we may get into this in the days to come. But this is a real issue. I think it's completely fair to... Again, we still have to, Reggie writes, Black Line has become boring as F. Please limit his calls to 3 minutes. I just can't get a good phone call out of the guy, man. He's just so stuck on stupid with me. And I think it just really goes to the level of just how much I've got him over the years, quite honestly. He just can't let it go. I don't know. I don't hear his conversations. I don't know if he calls in to other radio stations. But I do remember thinking that when he talked to other people, he would have more productive conversations. I guess I just bring that out of him, huh? Scott writes, I saw that show. Barkley seems so out of place, doesn't he? BS3 writes, the show is not bad. Barkley is clueless, though, right? I mean, the least skilled to have those debates to push back in an intelligent manner. Of all the people on television, if I made a list of them, Charles Barkley would be at the top of that list. Who's next? Shaq? Shaq in Appalachia? I mean, come on now. Shaq sits down with Trump supporters. Oh, okay. You're going to moderate this debate now? The world, what in the world is the world coming to? What in the world is the world coming to? Hey, Reggie, I might have to do that. Can somebody, listen, can we put a GoFundMe together for Black Lion to have better writers? Whoever is writing his one-liners and his stale, crusty flows, they need to be fired. Hire some millennials as your writing staff, BL. That's what I say. Thank you so much for listening this morning. Very interesting. I got to process that. Many thanks to Mr. Earl Starr. And I'm going to keep in touch with him. And I'm going to ask Mr. Earl Starr, and that Black Line or anybody else, if you need me to make a connection with you and Mr. Earl Starr, I can do so with 2 R's. You can find him on Facebook. I'm going to check back with Mr. Starr throughout the next few months to see if Black Lion actually comes through. And I'm just the guy to do it. I will make time for that. This show will be available as a podcast within the hour. Thank you so much for listening. Listen, a great way to support me is to support the people that support me, our sponsors and advertisers. Another way to support me is to support me directly. I would like to build something beautiful, a completely independent talk show, internet-based, in the city of Cincinnati. Why can't we do it? We're doing it. We're doing it. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for more superlative flows on people, politics, and pleasure. Shout out to my good friends at soulpublicradio.com, and our new friends, the X Squad affiliates, to my patrons, to Team and I, to the choppers. Until next time, I'm out.